serious fire, a well-developed fire in the building. The decision was made at that time not to commit any firefighters into the building for two reasons. Firstly, the fire was well developed and was continuing to grow, and secondly, there were some concerns about the structural stability.
2 months, 2 whole months, potentially several bodies were left in a warehouse that is suspected to have been a cannabis factory in the Oldham area of Greater Manchester. Back on May the 7th, the fire service attended a blaze at a warehouse, and this fire was very fierce. I've managed to find a very small bit of footage from the actual evening, and it shows that there's a lot of popping or exploding or whatever you want to describe it as from the factory, and the fire was absolutely ginormous. But at the time, due to the size of the fire and the damage that it did, the fire service determined that nobody should go inside because it was too dangerous and it was structurally unsafe. 2 months later, they have demolished the building, and during the demolition, they have discovered the body of a Vietnamese national. And now it has emerged today that they believe there may be other bodies in this warehouse as well, which Manchester News has said they believe may have been a cannabis factory. And it was only the other week that I did a tour of a cannabis factory in Birmingham that had been discovered by the police, and there was over 2,500 cannabis plants in there, and Vietnamese nationals were also living in there, alongside a 16-year-old boy was the youngest that was arrested.
Just down there. Oh, there's definitely living quarters. These guys had a whole house and set up. Okay, so now we've got all the pots here. Massive setup here. Oh, here we go.
And in this case, it shows the worst case scenario, where the fire hazards that are associated to cannabis factories of the scale that they do can result in the loss of life. Greater Manchester Police received reports on the 21st of July that 4 Vietnamese people were missing, and their families had tried to contact the police and they were making inquiries. And upon discovering the first body, it increases the possibility that there are other bodies that was involved. The Chief Fire Officer Leon Park said, given the severity of the fire and we had no information to indicate anybody was inside, we didn't undertake a search. This was the correct procedure and we couldn't risk sending firefighters in to an unsafe and unstable building. They have officially said as well that an inquiry will be opened to try to find out if this was the correct decision to make. At the time of the original fire, the cause was said to be unknown, but now Greater Manchester Police are investigating, and they may have found some evidence to suggest that it could have been a cannabis factory. The firefighters were battling it for 4 days, and that also shows the intensity of the fire. Manchester's Mayor Andy Burnham said no stone will be left unturned during the investigation, and they promised that both organisations, the police and the fire service, will work together to find out the truth. The whole of Greater Manchester will feel shocked and saddened to hear the news, particularly in the community of Oldham. Police said in an official statement that on the 23rd of July 2022, demolition workers discovered at Bismark House Mill in Bower Street, Oldham, the body of a Vietnamese national. Detectives from Greater Manchester Police, Oldham District and Major Incident Team have been informed, and on Saturday the 7th of May, Greater Manchester Police attended the fire that was extinguished after 4 days. It was not believed that anybody was inside the mill until they received a report from the relatives in Vietnam. Detective Chief Inspector Rob Potts said the victims and their families are at the forefront of the investigation. While we work to identify the deceased, we are liaising with partner agencies to find other family members and try to find any of the other relatives that are also missing. This news will understandably be a great shock to the community, and they reassured the public that it was declared a major incident, and GMP and their partner agencies will respond to any incident in the most effective way. So this is a devastating story coming from Manchester, and also, again, like I said, a big reminder of the dangers that are associated with some of these cannabis factories, and what a horrible way to die as well, where nobody even realised that there was missing because nobody was meant to be in the building. So I really want to hear what people have to say on this breaking story, and I'll definitely follow it up as the story escalates as well. Please don't forget to follow online as well at Scarcity Studios on social media on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. And I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.